Well, now, here's a story about a boy who's pretty keen about football. Now, that's not unusual, except that this football fan has his own radio shift.
Mention the name Peter Carey to most South Australian sports fans, and it won't take you long to find out that he's not only one of the state's top footballers, but a local legend as well, having played over 400 games for the Glenelg Football Club. But Peter isn't the only Carey who's made a name for himself in the world of sport. A much younger member of the family has not only become one of Adelaide's best footy tipsters with his own spot on radio every week, but has achieved his success whilst coping with something which most other sportsmen, and especially radio commentators, would think of as a disadvantage: blindness. At just 9 years of age, Matthew Carey is already something of a football expert, and each Friday, with the help of his mum Linda and brother Justin, Matthew prepares his tips and waits for the phone call from Adelaide's top sports announcer, Ken Cunningham, whose highly rating football show attracts a large audience eager for Matthew's tips. But sometimes, even the top tipsters have a bad day.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello.
How are you, champ?
Not too happy.
Now, what happened last week? Am I right in saying you only picked 2 out of 5?
Exactly.
What happened?
I don't know.
Neil Curley had the worst he's had for quite a few weeks.
Yeah, normally he gets 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5.
He only got 3.
So it must have been a bad weekend. I hear you got 3.
Yes, I did. Right, OK, let's get into it, Matthew. Now, the game at Footy Park, South Adelaide versus the Eagles.
This is going to be quite interesting after South Adelaide defeated Glenelg.
Could you believe that?
Pardon?
Could you believe that last week?
No, I can't believe it because I remember South hit the front, hitting the front at the beginning of the last quarter. And then Glenelg got back in the front, and then they said about the time-on period looks like a boil over. South have just hit the front again.
OK, now your choice of the South Torrens game?
I think on form I'll go for South 11 to 20.
South 11 to 20. Ooh, I think I might have to go for the Eagles there. I might get one more in front.
Even though his tips from the previous week had not gone as well as he'd hoped, Matthew's record of 66 winners for the year speaks for itself. And I asked him how he went about picking the winning teams.
Well, probably the positions on the ladder and how the sides have maybe performed. Say, like I tipped West against Port because Port will be out of form. And what makes me decide is how they played last week and things like that.
How much do you rely on the radio?
Quite a bit, actually, to listen to the commentary and things like that. And so in football, I rely on the radio a lot.
So how successful have you been with your tips?
Very, actually. I'm only 7 winners. They have a tipping poll on the footy show. They have 5. And even though I'm not in the footy show, I'm a part of that poll. And I'm 7 behind the 2 leaders.
Can you pick a winner for South Australia then this far into the year?
What do you mean pick a winner?
Well, can you tell who's going to be in the finals?
Well, I reckon the grand final will be North and Woodville.
You don't reckon Torrens are going to make it?
No.
You've got a pretty good memory, haven't you? Does that help you?
Yes, and I even remember a score from round 12, 1985, a Glenelg-Torrens match.
What was the score?
Torrens 15-18, 108, Glenelg 14-23, 107.
With a memory like that, it's easy to see why his tips are so successful. But if he's not right every time, no one really minds, because the real winner is a boy named Matthew Carey.
I'm not so sure about your grand final tip, Matthew, but you never know, you could be right.